Hello, have you been researching about hair transplant and you are reading a lot about hair transplant in the front, but you are looking for hair transplant in the back of the head, also known as the vertex, and you want more information about that? I am Dr. Aniket Venkatram, plastic surgeon at the Venkat Center for Skin and Plastic Surgery, Bangalore, and today we will talk a little bit about the vertex hair transplant. So, to start off, what is the vertex? The vertex is the back of the head, also known as the crown. Your head can be divided into the frontal region, the temporal or the sides, and the vertex or the crown. So, now what is vertex hair loss? Hair loss can basically be looked upon as three types. The first is frontotemporal, where people lose hair in the front and the baldness goes from front back. The second is vertex, where people lose hair in the back of the head. So you have this circle that is increasing in size in the back of the head. That is known as vertex hair loss. And the third is diffuse pattern, wherein you have hair loss all over the head. Now, the most common form of hair loss is frontal hair loss, wherein people lose hair in the front. And most of the times, after people have had frontal hair loss for many years, then they start seeing hair loss in the back of the head in the vertex also. But this is not always the case. Sometimes it is the reverse. Sometimes people see hair loss in the vertex front and they start losing hair in the back of the head first. And then they see hair loss in the front later on. Now, vertex hair loss can be a source of great stress for people. Why is this? This is because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see the hairline receding, you can see how it is looking, and that helps you have a realistic picture of what is happening. But hair loss in the vertex is not something that you can make out yourself. It is a hair loss that other people point out. So you might have people coming to you and saying, hey, you're losing hair in the back of your head. Hey, you're losing hair in the back of your head. What are you doing about it? And this creates a lot of stress. And oftentimes people have stress that is out of proportion to the amount of hair loss that is actually happening. We have seen people who come and say, doctor, I have so much hair loss in my vertex. I don't know what to do. And then you look at it, it's actually not so bad. This is because, as I said, because it's other people telling you that this is happening, this is happening. Oftentimes you might have a very skewed idea of what is actually going on in the back of your head. Now, having said that, vertex hair loss is real and it requires treatment. But treating hair loss in the vertex is not as easy as treating hair loss in the front. Let us look at the reasons why this is the case. Firstly, in the vertex, you have thinning of hair in the beginning. So while it appears empty, this is actually because thick hairs have become thin. In the frontal region, the issue is more that hairs are going away. So you have areas of complete baldness, whereas in the vertex, it is generalized thinning. Secondly, in the vertex, the hairs all go in different directions. In the front, the hairs all go in one direction. So if you comb your hair, the hairs all layer on top of each other, and this makes it look better. Whereas in the vertex, because they're all going in different directions, this kind of layering effect doesn't happen. This is why even in someone who is not balding, the vertex area always appears thinner than what the front appears. Finally, in the vertex, the area is expanding in the form of a circle in all directions. So let us look at how this makes treatment difficult. So as we know, there are two aspects to treatment of any kind of hair fall. One is medication, the other is transplantation. Medication is particularly important when it comes to the vertex. Let us see why. So the first thing that I said was that in the vertex you have generalized thinning. This means that the number of hairs hasn't gone down too much, but the thick hairs has become thin. In this early stage, even though the vertex appears thin, it should not be transplanted. The vertex would require medicines at this stage in time so that you make the thin hairs thick again and the area appears full. If you try to transplant in this early stage in the vertex, you will end up damaging the hairs which are already there, which is counterproductive. You're spending money needlessly. Also, because there are hairs and you can only put hairs in between them, what this means is, let's say you have an X number of hair and you do a transplant and you put some hair in between. If you don't take medicines properly, you lose the original hair. And so you're left over with some amount of hair which kind of looks similar to what you had before. So you end up thinking that, hey, I've done transplant and it still looks the same. The transplant has failed. But that is not the case. The transplant hasn't failed. It's the fact that you didn't take medicines properly, so you're ending up in the same scenario. This again underscores the importance of why it is important to take medicines for the vertex. Now, the second thing that I said is that in the vertex, the hairs all go in different directions. What this means is that the vertex needs more grafts to give a full dense look. If you say, let's say you put 1500 grafts in the front, that will look quite good because the hairs all layer on top of each other. But if you put 1500 grafts in the vertex, because they're all going in different directions, it doesn't look as good. So what this means is that for the same area in the vertex, you need more grafts to do the transplant compared to the similar area in the front. This means that the demand of the vertex is higher. You need more grafts, and so you need to plan this accordingly. So you should try to limit this by taking medication so that you require as few grafts as possible in the vertex. And finally, I had said that in the vertex, baldness goes in a circle, it goes in all directions. This again means that you need to control the vertex with medications first, then only think about transplant. Otherwise, let's say your original baldness is this much and you put some hairs in the center by doing transplant. But then, if you don't use medicines, the baldness is going to increase as a circle. So you have some grafts in the center that you have implanted surrounded by a ring of baldness, and this looks very awkward, it looks very weird. This is why, again, in the vertex, it's always medicines plus transplantation. So now at this point, you might be thinking that I've come to this video to research about vertex hair transplant, and this doctor is only talking about medicines again and again. Does this mean that I don't need to do transplant there? No, that's not the case. I'm just underscoring the fact that medicines are very important for the vertex. Once you have controlled the hair fall with medicines, then you can plan with going ahead with the transplant. Now here, the transplant itself, there are a few things to be kept in mind. One is that, as I said, the requirement for the vertex is a little bit higher. So you need to plan your procedure accordingly. If the person needs front and vertex, and you need to see how much grafts he needs, and you might require a combination of both an FUT and an FUE, or you might have to use more than one donor area in terms of the scalp, the beard, and the chest. Also, you need to prioritize things properly. The priority should always be to the front first, because this is how people see you and remember you. When someone closes their eyes and thinks of you, they imagine your face from the front. They don't imagine you from the behind. So the vertex is the second priority after the front. Sometimes we have patients who come to us who have baldness both in the front and the vertex, but they say, I want to do my vertex first. And we always tell them, focus on your front first, then only plan for the vertex. If done correctly, the vertex hair transplant can give good results. But make sure you find someone who is experienced. For all the reasons that I mentioned till now, vertex hair transplant is not as easy as the front, and it should not be done by beginners. Find someone who is experienced, who knows how to plan out the vertex. You need to know how to plan out the hairs in all these different directions. You need to recreate that whirl. That is only when it looks natural. You can't just put hairs in a single direction. And you have to pack hairs in densely, which means you need a good implanting team. So do your research and find someone who is experienced in vertex hair transplant specifically before you plan for undergoing a vertex hair transplant. Now, we will look at some photos of some patients who had vertex hair transplant surgery, and you can see the results. Again, these are all patients who have done both transplant and take medicines. It is only the combination of both these parts of the equation that you get the full solution, that you get the full result. I hope you enjoyed this video on the vertex hair transplantation. This is, as I said, it's a source of concern for many patients, and we just wanted to give out the correct information about this procedure so that people know what to expect and they can plan properly. If you have any doubts or questions, do feel free to get in touch with us. Our information will be coming on the screen shortly. It is also available in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to share it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on all things related to skin, hair transplantation, and plastic surgery. Thank you and have a good day.